Hello everyone, this is Jan and you're watching SketchaLona. This morning I was pretty annoyed I didn't have any milk in the fridge for my coffee. So I went outside figuring I'd just buy a takeaway around the corner, checked out where a bus was going, got on it as it was just coming up, and then found out that if I just go to the station I can get a ticket. Instead of paying 35, only paying €8. A lot cheaper than buying it online. If you're feeling a little grumpy this Sunday and you want to come along with me on a little trip, pack your bags. We are going 1 hour south of Barcelona to a beautiful little town that was built by the Romans. Look at these guys peeping out. Hey everyone, welcome to a special episode, this time from Tarragona. I thought I'd take a little bit of a day trip just to check out some of the sites close to Barcelona. There's some ancient sites here, there's some beautiful little streets. You're not tripping over tourists. It's just perfect to get away and just to completely chill, and I want you to have the same experience watching this video. So, talk to you in a little bit when it's time to talk about comics. So this right here is the reason I've always wanted to go to Tarragona. Once I heard that they actually still have a Roman amphitheater in ruins that is just open to the public, just lying around, just close to the beach. This was on my list of places to see, and so far I've only been to places pretty far away from Barcelona because I always figured like one day I'm not going to have the money or the time to travel, so I'll save these places that are only an hour away for those times. Leche desnatada, time to add that to a little coffee, some proper Morocco coffee. I've got about 1 kilo from the Philippines as a special treat. It's pretty strong, so I have to make a cafe con leche with this one. What you are looking at right now is my comic book, one of 3. It's a little side project, if you will, together with the other members of the V100s. It's pretty much finished. We are making another anthology, just like Life in Space last year. This one is more of a werewolves and unicorns and other mythical creatures kind of video. I suppose I should hold off firing up the old microwave right now from recording this. And so this is my little sketch for one of the pages. So I will show you the finished page, or parts of the finished page, because I'm pretty happy with how this is all coming out. It's fully traditional. There's lettering, there's great tones, it's all traditional. That's a first, because I've gone from being completely digital to moving things more and more onto the actual page, and now with my computer busted, well, I'm locked out, it's all traditional all the way. So pretty stoked. It's pretty fun, actually. I'm just working on the last page today, and then it's time to finish it up and send it over to Mike and the other people who are putting the actual book together before it's time for the Kickstarter. Wow. Spring is here. Oh, just burned my eyes. Let's put you guys right here. So since we are talking about comics and supporting comics and their creators, I'm going to post a link down below to Van Illustration. Clayton has begun his run of the 100 Days of Making Comics, and he's doing his little adventure. It looks pretty cool, and he's very good in front of the camera, I have to say. Much better than I was back in the day when I first started. I've never seen Clayton's other runs, but he's always very supportive of myself here and other people in the V100s doing their 100 days runs. So if you don't know who he is, follow the link down below and check out his day-to-day video posts as he's putting together his own little comic. Now, besides Clayton, I've been reading Multiple Men. Oh, time to wake up. So I gave myself a bit of a present, a subscription to Marvel Unlimited, and I've been reading the hell out of it on my breaks, whenever I catch public transport rather than walk to work, whenever my computer's down at work, which is, it seems, every day. And I've been reading this comic, Multiple Men. It's pretty funny. It's one of the lesser known X-Men or mutants in his own time traveling adventure, which, having just seen the Umbrella Academy, feels a little derivative, but then I have to keep in mind that they are actually, you know, ripping off Days of Future Past, so it's all good. This is a really cool little comic. If you like reading like comedy and the X-Men, like seeing them together and just seeing loads of characters just make cameos, and just, it's just a really fun comic book. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but basically Multiple Man has made a bit of a mess of the future, and one of the multiple men is trying to make sense of it all. So yeah, it's pretty funny, and it just makes me think about like comedy in comics, because comics have a rich history of cartoons and like being funny, but when it comes to superhero comics that are funny, I don't want to say like you see that a lot less, because they tend to be very lighthearted for most of them. But there's something about this one where the dialogue really feels like you're listening in on a sitcom almost. So I'm pretty impressed with the writing, I have to say, and I'm really like just, I don't know, like there's just something about like characterization and putting it up on the page, and just as I put together my own little comic book, and one of the hardest things or most time-consuming things is writing the dialogue. I find like just, you know, getting stuff on the page that makes sense, that is can be subtle but not too subtle. You know, like sometimes you have to resort to cliches, like all that stuff. Thinking about all that stuff myself, and then reading a well-written comedy comic book is quite an eye-opener. So the book came out last year. I thoroughly recommend it. Almost all the issues are up on Marvel Unlimited, but I'm already eyeing issue 5 and 6 on Comixology because I don't want to wait. I just want to finish reading it this weekend. So check it out. So here we have the finished rough pencils for another page for the anthology. And here we have the finished traditional gray tones on top of my inks. I'm pretty pleased with how this is coming out. I hope you guys like this, because I will be promoting the hell out of this when it's time for the Kickstarter, which we hope will be next month already. So for now, it is time to make our way across Barcelona. This is Plaza Real right here, because there's a very special event this weekend that I am dying to check out for some seriously needed inspiration when it comes to making this my career. So we're here at Montjuïc. Check out the Salon de International Comic Festival here in Barcelona. But since we did manage to get up early for once this Sunday, we are going to check out one of my favorite museums in the city. So I hope you guys don't mind me showing off this place one more time, because it's not the first time I've showed this in SketchaLona or one of my 100 Days of Making Comics. It is the National Museum Nacional Art de Catalunya, or MNAC as we call it. It is a beautiful, beautiful building. It's very large on the inside. It's not just a facade. And the prime collection they have, which is the most impressive, is the medieval art. There are some other exhibitions. You might see some of Barcelona's most famous sons passing you by a little later on, like Pablo Picasso, even though he has his own dedicated museum. One of the things that really stood out this Comic Con, this Salon de Comic International, is the amount of competitions they have. There was a lady who, in her 60s, made a comic book about her everyday life. She won a prize as like best newcomer. This is one of the indie comics here in Spain, rest of 2018. But there's also a lot of tables that have been paid for by local communities, like this table right here by the city of Carmona. And there was one table that was Gobierno de Aragón. And so these local communities pay for a table so that they can then send their own local comic book artists to, advertise what they've got. And it wasn't just one or two, like there was loads of them.
Y me entero de eso, yo en caso toda la redacción al lunes siguiente cuando llegamos a trabajar, habiendo además anunciado esa portada en redes, ¿no? Estas semanas, que era el tema de la semana, sentido que el juego saliera con una portada sobre las mujeres.
Sí, aquí las mujeres, todas las del equipo en realidad, podemos jugar las 3 parejas posibles de cada equipo, pero veremos si llega a hacer falta o no, o si se ve.
So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and as I'm gonna continue working on these pages, actual size, gray tone size, so I can finish them up today, and then hopefully I will have them scanned in at the shop, put them onto a USB stick, and then tomorrow on Sunday I'll get to stick them into my friend's computer, format them just right in the TIFF format, and upload them super fast on a super fast internet, hopefully. And then that's 1 out of 3 comic books that I'm working on out of the way, so I can focus on a brand new page of a collaboration and then back on Phosphor for the rest of the coming weeks. So I hope the cars outside aren't bothering you too much. Hope you stay tuned. Subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the sights and sounds in this video, and I'll get back to you. In the meantime, there's a little snippet of a portrait I made of Samax and Marshall, watching their videos. They did a 2-part video in the last couple of weeks, so I'll put some links down below because I thought they were really awesome videos. Talking about what it takes these days to make it as an artist, doing comics, and the hustle, all that. Very inspiring stuff. As inspiring as going to Comic-Con and seeing people tabling. If only they'd gotten back to me. I will. Next Comic-Con. Talk to you guys soon.